Welcome to docx, your movie recap in a flash. We bring the drama, the action, and the twists. In minutes, our movie begins with a 13-year-old girl named Lily living in Hungary. She has a dog named Hagen, who is not a purebred. Because Lily's parents are separated, she doesn't feel comfortable with either of them. The only being close to her is Hagen, her dog. One day, while Lily is playing with her dog in the park, her mother watches her. Her mother decides to move to America and leave Lily to live with her father, Daniel, forever. Daniel works as a butcher and hasn't seen his daughter since she was 3 years old. When Daniel sees his grown-up daughter, he's surprised to find she has a dog. Since his apartment is too small to accommodate a dog, and because Daniel doesn't like pets in general, he reluctantly allows the dog to stay for his daughter's sake. When Daniel and Lily arrive at the building where they live, the landlady, from whom Daniel rents the apartment, sees them. She tells them that pets are not allowed in the apartment. Daniel assures her that he will get rid of the dog in a few days. They enter the apartment. When Lily eats with her father, she refuses to talk to him and feeds her dog from her own plate. Her father has to add another bed next to his because the apartment is too small and has no extra room. Hagen has separation anxiety, making him uneasy when left alone. Nonetheless, Daniel locks him in the bathroom. Hagen barks and whines in the bathroom for a long time, disturbing everyone's sleep. Eventually, Lily goes to him, takes out her music instrument and plays a tune he likes. The dog calms down after hearing the tune and falls asleep. Lily sleeps in the bathtub to stay close to her dog. The next morning, they wake up to the sound of someone ringing the doorbell. It's a man from the Stray Dog Control Organization. He tells them someone complained about a dog barking all night in Daniel's apartment. Daniel tries to lie, saying he doesn't have a dog in the apartment, but Hagen appears, and the man sees him. The man informs Daniel that he will have to pay a hefty fine imposed by the Hungarian government on owners of mixed-breed dogs for licensing the dog. Daniel becomes upset, unwilling to pay money for a dog he sees as useless and never wanted to keep in the first place. Lily takes Hagen to her music class because her father doesn't want to leave the dog alone in the apartment. It turns out that pets are not allowed in the music class. Lily hides her dog in the instrument cabinet, but when the orchestra begins playing, Hagen gets scared of the sound and comes out of the cabinet. The teacher gets angry and orders Lily to get rid of the dog. She doesn't obey him, leaving the class with her dog. They walk on the street until Daniel finds them, upset because the music teacher called him to complain about what happened. Daniel decides to get rid of the dog at any cost. He asks Lily to take Hagen to the dog shelter, but she insists on keeping him. Her father becomes furious and, fed up with his daughter's stubbornness, grabs the dog and throws it out of the car. Lily cries and gets out of the car, begging her father to bring her dog back. But Daniel forces her into the car and drives off without the dog. The poor dog runs after them, not wanting to leave his owner, Lily. But Daniel speeds up, and Hagen can't keep up. The dog stays in the same spot for hours, waiting for Lily, but she doesn't return because of her father. Lily wakes up late at night, planning to escape the house and search for her dog, but her father catches her and makes her go back to bed. Meanwhile, Hagen wakes up after sleeping under a bridge in the city. He searches for food and finds a dead animal carcass on the ground. Hagen, extremely hungry, considers eating the carcass but feels disgusted and doesn't eat it. He wanders through the city until he reaches a butcher shop, looking at the meat on display while starving. There, Hagen sees a stray white dog and follows it to the back of the butcher shop, where many stray dogs are eating leftovers and scraps. The stray dogs bark at Hagen when he tries to eat the scraps with them. The butcher hears the dogs barking, comes out, and chases them away. Since Hagen is a pet, not a stray, he stays in place and doesn't fear the butcher. The butcher gets angry when he sees the dog refusing to leave. He grabs a cleaver, intending to hit poor Hagen, but the white dog distracts him, giving Hagen a chance to escape just in time. The two dogs run together and reach a water pond where all the stray dogs in the area drink. But the dog control police arrive, capture them, and lock them in cages. Hagen and his companion manage to escape, and the dog control police chase them. Hagen runs through the streets until a homeless man rescues him. After the police leave, the homeless man ties Hagen with a rope around his neck and keeps him. Daniel takes his daughter to her music class and makes her apologize to the teacher for what happened the day before. After class, Lily goes to the spot where she last left her dog, without her father knowing, but she doesn't find Hagen. She searches for him around the city all day, but her efforts are in vain, and she doesn't find him. Lily prints flyers about her missing dog and posts them across the city. At night, the homeless man sells Hagen to a dog trader. Hagen is chained and locked with other dogs in a warehouse. The next day, the trader takes Hagen to a man named Sabolcher, who wants to buy a dog for a dog fighting competition. The trader tells him that Hagen might not be good at fighting because he's a pet, but Zabolz insists and decides to buy him. Zabolz gives Hagen sleeping pills, making him fall asleep. He carries Hagen to his house and mixes protein powder into milk, giving it to the dog to drink. To make Hagen aggressive and dangerous, Zabolz constantly beats him and treats him harshly. Hagen is kept hungry and locked up all night. The only time he gets out of the cage is when Zabolz trains him for fighting. When Hagen doesn't obey Zabolz's commands, he beats him mercilessly without pity. Hagen lives a miserable life. Zabolz's training methods grow harsher each day, and Hagen is no longer the gentle, friendly dog he once was. Hagen transforms into a fierce and dangerous dog, ready for battle in the fighting arena. Meanwhile, Lily continues searching for her dog and visits a dog shelter, asking the shelter owner about her dog. And her nightly dog worries me. It might have been run over by a car or died in a fight with another dog in the street. Her nightly dog worries her greatly. It might have been run over by a car or involved in a fight with another dog in the street, and Lily is very concerned about her dog. Her day gets worse when she goes to pick up her bike and finds that a thief has stolen it. At night, Sabolz goes with Hagen to a dog fighting championship. The rules are that one of the two dogs in the ring wins and the losing dog dies. Spectators bet on the lives of the dogs and make a lot of money from the wagers. When it's Hagen's turn, everyone assumes Hagen will lose and mock Sabolz, but he remains confident in Hagen's training. The match begins between Hagen and another dog, a Rottweiler. After a violent fight, both dogs are wounded and bleeding, but in the end, Hagen manages to defeat the Rottweiler and wins the match. A dog trader witnesses what happened and wants to buy Hagen from Sabolz, but when Sabolz refuses, a fight breaks out between them. Suddenly, the electricity in the venue is cut off, and Hagen seizes the opportunity to escape quickly from the place. He runs all night to get as far away as possible from the dog traders. Meanwhile, Lily runs on foot to get home after her bike was stolen. She encounters her classmate from music class, Peter, who is on his way to a party organized by high school students. Lily asks to join him, and while Peter hesitates and doesn't want to take her, he decides to use her to hide the drugs he's carrying so he won't get caught. He makes her stash the drugs in her pockets. Lily enters the party with Peter, where everyone is older than her, but she doesn't mind. She sits on the sidelines, watching the students dance and drink alcohol. At the end of the night, Lily feels exhausted and falls asleep on the ground. The next day, the police arrive and shut down the party. When Lily is arrested for drug possession, she is taken to the police station. They test her blood and find that she hasn't consumed drugs, so the police allow her to return home with her father, Daniel. For the first time in years, Daniel cries because he was worried about his daughter and terrified for her safety throughout the previous night. Daniel apologizes to Lily for taking Hagen away from her and promises to get her a new dog. Lily forgives her father, and they return home together, their relationship much improved. The next day, Hagen goes to the pond and meets his white dog friend again, and the two play together by the riverbank. Suddenly, the dog police appear and capture them, taking them to the dog shelter. Hagen, injured from the fight, receives treatment for his wounds at the shelter. He is placed in a cage with hundreds of stray dogs. While the other dogs eat their food, Hagen doesn't even glance at his. The following day, people visit the shelter to adopt a dog of their choice. When a girl notices Hagen, he barks at her aggressively, behaving in a hostile and dangerous manner with the staff. The shelter owner decides that Hagen should be euthanized because he poses a threat. She orders an employee to carry out the task. Meanwhile, Lily is with the music band during a performance, playing her instrument. Her father, Daniel, is in the audience, cheering her on. Hagen is on his way to be thrown into a huge cage with many other dogs, but he attacks the employee, who is holding him, and growls at him and bites his neck, and they die. And then the dogs get out of the cage and he moves after Hagen, and because Hagen is the one who freed them, the dogs decide to make him their leader, and when his powerful owner tries to stop him, he runs after her, falls to the ground, and runs away with the rest of the dogs. The dogs run around the city, creating chaos everywhere, and people run away when they see him because the dogs attack everyone they see in their way. The end ends with the dogs reaching the stage where Lily is performing with her band. The dogs are swarming the stage from everywhere, making the audience afraid to protect themselves. The show stops after everyone is in a state of panic. Lily senses that Hagen is among the dogs, so she goes outside the stage to look for him. Peter says to her he prepares for her not to go out, but he goes out after her, after Layla does not listen to him, and they see a man who is terrified and prepares for them not to go down or leave the place because the entire city is in a state of danger. But Layla does not listen to him and rides her new bike and drives in the city where there is no one left in it. The streets, and Lily tries to find Hagen, and she thinks that if she finds it, she can stop the chaos that is happening. And suddenly, a large pack of dogs moves after her, and Lily falls from the bike and gets a wound in her knee. But the dogs ignore her as if they have another mission, and it turns out that a Hagen is directing to pick of all the people who hurt him in the past. Hagen finds Spolex and approaches him with a group of dogs. The rest of the dogs attack Spolex until he dies, and the place is full of blood. When Spolex goes to the place at night, she doesn't find the dogs and sees a policeman and makes her ride in the car with him, but she runs away from the car and rides the bike, and she searches for her dog. And Lily goes to the butcher shop and finds the butcher dead on the ground. This is the same butcher who tried to kill Hagen with the lines a few days ago. Lily calls her father and asks him to stay at home and not move. Whatever happened is because he is afraid for him, and Daniel is worried about his safety. His daughter, but he does not listen to her and searches for her. The security forces appear and shoot at the dogs in the streets and kill a large number of them, but the number of dogs keeps increasing and they do not stop. The dogs go to the merchant who sold Hagen and they kill him. Now Daniel is their last target. Layla goes to her house and finds the owner of the house. Her father is dead on the ground, so she loves Lily and runs to her apartment. She knows that she can figure out what Hagen wants to do, and she knows that her father's life is in danger, so she leaves her again while he is in the theater. Daniel is relieved after seeing her okay, but suddenly Hagen appears and approaches Lily. It is clear that he has forgotten her after everything that happened to him. He barks at Lily and an army of dogs joins him. When they prepare to attack Lily, her father appears with a pipe and a lit gas hose. Daniel tries to distract the dogs and keep them away from his daughter and save her, but the dogs do not calm down. So Lily takes out her horn and plays the tune that Hagen loves. Finally, Hagen gets to know Lily, calms down, listens to her, and plays along. Then the dogs mimic him and they all fall asleep on the ground while listening to Lily's music. Daniel is shocked when he sees what's happening, but he feels relieved that his daughter is safe. At the end of the movie, Lily falls asleep on her stomach in front of the dogs, and her father joins her, lying down next to her. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never miss an update. See you in the next video. Goodbye.